Well, another edition then of More News from Nowhere with me here and Paul over there. You right, Paul?
Not bad, Johnny. How's yourself?
I'm all right, really. I think, yeah, I think I
Okay.
am. Yeah.
What's all this stuff around your
Well,
neck?
oh, this, yeah. Well, funny thing is, my cat's got like a little wound infection in his neck. So I went to the vet, and the vet says, "Oh, you need to like put on one of these like cone collars. That should help." And I put one on, and it doesn't seem to. I don't know. It's not really done the cat any good. You know. So
Johnny, Johnny,
what?
I think it's not for yourself. It's for your cat.
Oh God, yeah, of course. Oh right, I wonder why it's so tight. Oh, there he is. Come on, Milo, kitty, kitty, come and have this. Ah, whew, that took some doing, but he's got it on now. He's got it on now. Oh, I feel better with that on.
Yeah.
Right. So I think we better get on with the show, shall we?
Yeah. Roll intro.
So, Paul, how are you today? All good?
Not bad, Johnny. Yeah, not too bad, mate. Yourself?
I'm all right. I'm all right. Now, as we're recording this, it's a Saturday, 24th of April. Obviously, it might go out later on for our viewers, but today there's been the big London protests, haven't they?
Mm-hmm.
One of many.
Yeah.
I didn't go. I was thinking about going, but there's a lot of things busy in the house and everything, so I couldn't really make it this time. But I probably, if there's another one, I'll probably go. But have you heard a lot from it, Paul?
I've seen. I was watching it on a live broadcast, and
Oh.
there seems to be a much bigger crowd than the previous ones that
Mm.
I've seen. And it looked very peaceful. A lot of people being a lot of love there, and a lot of defiance, saying that we had enough of all these lockdowns and tired of all these compliant rules. Yeah. What did you think to it, mate?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I saw a lot of posts from Fred Fairbrass, who we both, kind of know from Facebook, and talking a little bit to them about that. And he put up because both Fred and Richard, right? So Fred, they went to the protest. I hope they don't mind us mentioning them, but I'm sure they don't. But he posted up some pictures, and it looked like exactly how you said. It was looked very peaceful, a good unity with people going on, and he was saying that there seems to be more there than last time. He says probably 100,000 or more. So that's really encouraging because I didn't really see as much advertisement as this as the one last year, the big one last year. So that's really good. They're saying they've got that many numbers, which I thought was not as advertised as much. And for as far as I can see, there's no real big speakers there. I don't think David Icke's there, certainly not doing a speech or anything. So, obviously that would pull some people. But I'm really happy that a lot have just gone to stand together in unity on this tyranny, that's what it is. We're living in tyrannical times.
Like I say, I think it's still going on as we speak, and the weather's been good for them. So, yeah, like I say, I wish I was there, but I've got unfortunately issues with walking and stuff like that, so it makes it a bit harder for me as well. But
Yeah, that's true.
yeah,
Yeah,
I'm there in mind, there in spirit. So
exactly. And the media's been out in force as usual, straight away. I know. I think there's an article on Express. They've pulled up on the protest, and at first they were just doing the running down the general kind of like gist of it, not really, falling on one side or another. But the pattern, as usual, with this and anything like that's related to this, they'll always end it showing exactly what side they're on. They'll always end. So the last thing you read is it's all psychological, and they've done this again. At the end, they just put up various tweets apparently from the general public that are condoning it. That's how they ended it, just to make you think, oh yeah, that the ones they use, they're putting like one of our read. It's from apparently a member of public We are no longer on bloody lockdown. Seriously, people have got nothing better to do than protest. So, and there's other articles that very tweets below that are very similar, like saying, "What the hell are they protesting about now?" and all this, which gives obviously the impression that large members of the public, they don't get the full reason of these demonstrations. Think it's just about one thing, just the lockdown, and just it's everything that's part of this, our whole freedoms and our rights. That we know that it's been going on for ages, but never been so in your face as now and needed now. A lot of people just think it's just happening this with COVID, just the last bit, and that's all it's about. But so this is what they're angling at that, So, and then they get the normal tweets you get all the time with this, saying along the lines of, "These morons protesting against lockdown will be the very reason we stay in lockdown." I mean, this is what we get a lot, don't we?
Yeah.
Like, hello, do you not know what this is all about? It's like, so yeah, so it's the usual mainstream thing at the moment with it. So. And that's one of the reasons as well. These passports that are coming in is obviously another reason. That's just one little reason of many, But the media will pick out one or two and then make it like it's just about that, It's just the way it is. I mean, what are your thoughts on protests themselves? Do you think they work? Do you think it's worth doing?
I mean, yeah. I mean, some protests have worked, and movements, like I can just go off the top of my head. Martin Luther King doing
Yeah.
lots of, and racism changed in America from that. I think protests can generally work, uh, but obviously there has to be a willingness of politicians higher up wanting to uh, make that change. And I just feel that their hands are tied somehow. In my
Yeah.
in my in
Yeah.
my humble opinion, I think their hands are tied, and I think they are. I think they have people above them, rich people above them. That's like there's some very high corporation people with a lot of money saying like, politicians do this, okay, and we'll say, okay, thank you, yes, we will, and that's it. And so we're stuffed. In my humble opinion, maybe I'm wrong. Hope I am wrong. But what's your thoughts, mate?
I agree. That's the situation. I totally agree, and it's a good point you made. Really, that with these protests in history that they have made a difference. So we need. I think we need them in that way because it's our right to protest against a government.
Yeah.
If we do have a government obviously we do have a government in place, then of course, they're supposed to govern us, and we have the power to tell them they're doing it wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, I really don't want a government at all, in an ideal world. But so yeah, I totally agree with that. And yeah, their hands are tied. I mean, it's as well. Sometimes I think they want protest because they can try and angle it where they can handle us. That if they make it violent, if they try and antagonize us to make it violent, then that plays into their hands, and then they can play it however they want. They can use the media to say, look, these protests, they're just violent. So they can angle it like that. So you've got to be careful, I think, as well with protest. I think with these we're doing it right, as in we're not becoming violent. We're
Yeah.
not being antagonised. We're hearing big numbers that usually in a lot of protests can be easily turned and antagonised to become violent. And for most part, I'm not seeing that we're being swayed by that. We're at best we're standing our ground.
Yeah.
And that's really good. I like that.
Mhm.
The only other thing I think that big protests do is it gives a big message to both the leaders and those, obviously, the government hands are tied, but even those above, because it takes numbers. There's only a few at the top, and there's loads of others. If we have a strong message putting out that all these people are willing to stand together against this, that should frighten them, or at least give them a little bit of whoa.
Mm.
So I think it's
Yeah.
good in that way to send a positive message.
Mm-hmm.
But whether directly protests do anything, very few do. I
Mm-hmm.
think directly, but it can play a part. I think for
Yeah,
definite.
definitely. I mean, on a bit of a humorous way, obviously people have been kicking off about football,
Yeah.
and I've obviously seen quite a few funny things on Facebook about that. People are saying like, if you only just cared about freedom as much as you do about football, things would change utterly. And I think that's actually a good point. People are just
Very good point.
because football things have been, I don't know about football too much yet, but I know things are not, people are not happy about something about football, and so they're posting this and angry this, angry that, and it's changed apparently. Apparently they've reverted back to what football fans wanted, so it's worked.
Yeah, that shows it works. I mean, that was about the Super League. I don't know if they wanted a big Super League, which just really benefits the football owners, and not the fan. Takes more money off fans. It's all for the owners, and this is what they're protesting about, which I agree with. But let's take that. Look at other things. This is exactly that. That's exactly right. Is that football? I mean, I like football, but I can see quite clearly that more people are getting worked up and protesting and working with this. Why not apply that to the bigger picture? Come on, but it's all about the psychological aspect of it. We're allowed to be angry about things like football. It's almost like we're allowed to do that. We're allowed to, that's our avenue of protest. We're allowed to do that, but things that really matter for the whole people, this is where we should be getting angry.
Well, I think it's how it's been advertised, isn't it, my friend? I think
Yeah.
that's why football's okay to, like I say, to be
Yeah.
It's team, let's do it together, But
Yeah.
with how our coronavirus has been handled and portrayed in the adverts, it's what's your thoughts on the adverts?
That's a very good. We can move into it's very good. I mean, we're getting adverts all over the place. I mean, you showed me some about some that kept popping up. If you'd like to relay how you came with that, didn't you?
Yeah, well, I like to play a little bit of pool. It's a pool game on my phone, and every now and again you get adverts on there. And yeah, it was one advert that came on was about coronavirus, and a doctor, in his white jacket was saying this, and tried to like give again the mainstream media portrayal, and but the main the headline at the end of it on the credits was very interesting and very I can say it's basically saying that there's going to be more vaccines and therefore more questions. So I'm thinking like that's it's giving me lots of questions already in my head. So there's going to be more vaccines ahead and therefore more questions. So I'm thinking, it's an I'll put this on the slides so you'll see it.
Wow, I mean that's it seems to be everywhere. But the way they're doing it's very psychological. It's like pumping into your head sometimes when it's almost subconsciously. Because in fact, Mark Devlin pulled this up in one of his talks recently, and I connected it straight away because he was talking about in supermarkets. I think he mentioned Tesco, and Tesco's a supermarket I go to sometimes, and they do pump out the please follow the rules, social distance, wear mask, every about 10 minutes they do pumping it. And and Mark Devlin rightly says you could be shopping and not really listening, it's subconscious going into your head, subconscious. And he was talking about the staff there must hear that hundreds of times a day sometime, well, near enough. I mean, I'd be complaining. It'd be like, what? Having to work and having that all the time. And yeah, this is what they do, And I don't know if you've seen an advert recently, the NHS advert. I've seen it pop up where it's as blatant as a mind control brainwashing advert I've ever seen. It's literally about a second long, and it's just this woman, presumably acting as a nurse, an NHS, and she's just full face camera and saying, "Take the jab," just like that, and that's it. It's as if like trying to challenge your, into your subconscious. Well, even conscious, really. That's not even a subconscious thing. That's consciously, like going, "Take the jab." It's like, and the first time I saw it, I was like, "Whoa, that's just a little bit." There's no like build up, nothing. It's almost like take the jab, and that's it. So it just stays in your head. that's creepy. That's very creepy to me. You know, this just shows the tactics they're doing now in advertise everything. You know,
we've seen it where obviously where the advert where can you look the person in the eyes?
yeah, that's another one. Awful. Yeah,
Awful.
and these are the official NHS adverts as well, aren't they?
Mhm.
And they're going down this route. It's really sinister. They're playing on all the emotions in all the psychological means. It's just.
I mean, if people are questioning what I'm just saying on that one, for example, I mean, it's the same thing with like the flu. You know, years ago. I mean, literally, if you think about it, I could have killed somebody with having the flu.
Yeah.
You know, because I've been to a shop, and I know it sounds horrible, but think about it. It's possible.
Yeah, of course.
So again, can I look somebody in the eyes because I've not worn a mask? You know, and I've
All
killed,
of your life.
yeah, well, if or a member of the family that I'm sorry that I've killed.
Yeah.
But it's part of life, though. You know, you've got to live
Very
life,
guilt
not
trip, isn't it?
yeah.
I mean, you could think about that with anything. You know, you could go on a guilt trip about absolutely anything, but they've framed it so this is how it is, and oh dear, it's yeah, that's what we're dealing with. You know, but yeah. So, anything else to cover, Paul?
Not for myself, apart from a little joke, if that's okay with you.
Oh, I love them. Of course, go.
Okay, it's got to be about protests, of course, as well. So let's have a joke about protests.
Okay.
Well, apparently there's going to be another protest tomorrow. All the bakers are out on the streets apparently tomorrow, and it's about lack of cakes being being bought off the shelves.
Oh.
And apparently the police are expecting hundreds and thousands.
Oh. Well, it's a good place to end. Hundreds and thousands. I like it. Right. Well, on that topping, we'll top us off nicely. We'll end the show. Did it? So goodbye from me.
That's goodbye from me.